The clap. Ha! Hi guys, me here, and today I have a very special guest. It is the RTN winner, Andrew Yap. So, not only did he won the Kachi RTN, but he did it in style on Cindra with a 901 and 9-0 run. So, Andrew, how are you today?
I'm good. It's a good day today just to express and explain how the RTN went.
Okay. So before we start, I want you to tell our audience a little bit more about yourself. So how did you get started in FaB, and how did you end up with Cindra?
So, start my FaB journey. I really didn't know what FaB was. I was just walking in Green Hills, checking out some shops, and I saw a sign called Flesh and Blood. So I went in. It was in Unbox Green Hills
Hmm.
and checked it out. No one was there. It was in Tambayan, and I was just looking at the cards on display on the stands.
Yeah.
And here you are. That was you. You were my first encounter.
Oh my
And then
god.
I started asking, who can I play and what are the heroes here? And then you recommended Katsu. And I remember you stole one Katsu card and gave it to me. It's my first hero. And and from then on, I was like, okay, I gotta get Katsu cards, build this guy, and try to learn him through this website called Fabrari.
Actually, now that I think about it, it is actually very nice to see you grow from a beginner FaB player to actually winning one of the major local tournaments.
Yeah, it was a blessing experience because like you take the time to understand how the deck rolls
Mm.
and how you wanna just play some game that you like doing, you know?
Yeah, and all of this didn't just happen overnight, right? I saw you like put in the work, put in the effort, show up week after week.
Yeah. Like I'd play some armories, super armories, even entered my first calling and ended up IP2ing myself.
Well, all part of the learning process, right?
That's all part of the learning process.
So, ever since you started FaB, have you explored other classes or have you stuck to just being a ninja?
Okay, I like that I wanted to explore,
Hmm.
yet financially because I know Fab is expensive.
Yes.
So at the time I started, I didn't expect that decks would go around for like 20 to 30,000. I thought like 15K would be good.
Hmm.
But that I just stuck with Ninja and stuck with the card pool there and played whatever hero fits to the most. I mean, if you're familiar with the class,
Hmm.
know how to construct the deck and how to optimally make it good, or at least streamline and just spike. Hopefully not.
So I'm guessing you're really happy when Syndra came along and you have another great option to for the ninja class.
At the time, I was sad that Zen recently LL'd. At the
Yeah.
time, I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna go to Syndra. It seems like I can't block. I'm just gonna stay with Katsu. And last year during PQ,
Hmm.
uh, teammate tried to convince me to just try it out and see how it goes. And now here we are. It's like, okay, Syndra time.
So, uh, from what I've heard, you are part of Team Value Town, which is headed by Migi and Poch. Yes.
Yes.
So how do you find these guys? How did you find them? And yeah, tell us more about them.
Okay. So Value Town.
Hmm.
We're just a bunch of fools, but we're great fools. We always like jam games, play Discord,
Hmm.
and our main go-to LGS is Centris.
Okay.
But to that, I already knew even before Value Town because we used to play a card game called Vanguard, and we were young. We just for the fun of it,
Hmm.
meet in SM North EDSA and just play. Now that we had an idea to start a team, and I was like, okay, sure, I'm down to try and play competitively, flesh and blood. They really helped me grow as well. We always try to help and give advice to one another so that you can try to go to the next level. And every time I had like deck choices that I wanted to try, they gave input, and we're all open. We want to just bro.
I remember being surprised because, like, over the course of last year, the community at Centuries has really, like, it really blew up. There are lots of players now, and then, yeah. I talked to Miki, he told me about, yeah, they're your team. I'm just happy to see, like, a lot of the guys are also competing. And Poch even won the Battle Hard in Manila back then, right, last year.
That was such a good run with Victor.
Also, that's a really good call then during that time. So it just goes to show like the amount of effort and the thought process and the testing that you guys put into getting great at the game. Let's talk about your RTN run before your Kachi Cafe win. So how was it so far during the initial weeks?
The first RTN I joined was in Unbox on day one. I out Cindra. I think when you lose round one as Cindra, it's really hard submarine.
That's true.
It's really important to win your first round. And yeah, so with that being said, I lost my first round
Hmm.
in my first two. That was day one unbox and centers. Oh no, three, and then Kaikan.
Okay.
Lost the first three. So first was I forgot who my matchup was at unbox and centers, but I can clearly remember it was in Kaikan I lost to Katsu just because I got greedy and forgot to block Kodachi momentum. That was against
Oh.
Unbox team of Unbox. Yeah. He ended on Lord of Wind and
Hmm.
still had Breeze Rider and one card in hand. And when the reaction step took, placed Ancestral and gets draw from Mask, and then gives it a go again, activates Katsu, get a Bonds trigger, and I was like,
Oh
I messed up.
no. Yeah, that's the
And
blowout.
it was instant blowout and regret, and I was like, damn. And then from then, that day, super so bad. It was literally the day before Kachi. So bad that damn. I just go home and chill.
I,
And what was that?
Yeah, I guess somewhere along the way, the negative energy you felt during that previous tournament kind of got converted into like really good energy at Kachi.
Actually, I wasn't supposed to join Kachi in the first place because there was no slots, as
Oh,
in
okay.
zero. And then last minute, around 7 to 8 p.m., my girlfriend, shout out Akisha, she convinced me that I should just go for it and try. So I was able to message one of my teammates because luckily they had a slot that they were willing to give to me. So that was Jordan, and yeah, he gave. If without him, I wouldn't be at Kachi at all.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Jordan's also already qualified, right? He got second place during the big Centuries Road to Nationals tournament too.
recently with Florian, who just LL'd.
Mm-hmm.
RIP.
RIP Florian. There goes another punching bag matchup for
Yeah,
for Syndra.
let's go Runeblade.
So, Uh, let's talk about Syndra in general. Why did you pick her? And have you played other heroes during your previous runs? Or just pure Syndra all the
uh,
way?
I just played Cinder all the way because technically she's the only hero other than Katsu and
Mm.
Aira, and I thought she was in a decent place in the meta since she can kill Gravy, she can respond to Earth. However, she just dies to other aggro decks. But in the Philippines, there are a mix of everything. So I think I was ready to take the gamble and
Mm.
just keep taking my shot and play Syndra.
Yeah, I mean yeah, I mean that was a really good call because if you remember the breakdown of the last few RTNs here in the Philippines, it's more like the meta dex is consumes a total of probably 40-ish% or less
Hmm.
of the whole
Hmm.
field. And then the rest are like either specialists in their own decks or they just want to bring their favorite hero along. So, which is what Syndra shines into, right? Especially if she's against the less known heroes, she has a really big advantage.
And people don't, and because of the ban,
Mm.
they don't really tech for Sidra, and people don't realize that we only need to tech or side in like some cards to make it at least streamlined enough to feel like keep going, keep that damage
Yeah.
output.
So, during your games, are there any matchups that you really, really like when you're playing as Cindra?
Oh, give me gravy, earth all day. That's when you know like Cindra can just consistently give those damage. Just throw your cards, you know, like how in a casino you're like 4 5, and then and then you throw your dagger. Yeah,
They just fall down, right? Eventually.
yeah. They couldn't catch up to the consistent damage of the deck,
Mm.
and yeah, it's a really fun matchup for me.
Were you ever scared of your Verdance matchup? Because over the course of the months, Verdance has been catching up on win rate against Syndra.
With road bans, initially I had a plan which was to bring Art of Dragon Gale. Gale
Oh,
because
I see.
you can kill the boots. Of
Mm.
course, they have to respect it, and that's a tempo swing for us Syndras.
Mm.
However, with the ban, then again, it's hard to activate, so I cut that card and just go full gas. And eventually, you still win because, of course, they got hit with the ban too with their D reacts.
Yeah, they can't decompose fast enough now,
Yeah, they
right?
couldn't decompose faster, so parang they had a hard time hitting with their fellings, their plows, maybe CNC sometimes.
Mm.
Depends on how the person built the deck. But yeah, still feels favorable in my opinion.
So let's move to the other end of the spectrum. Let's talk about the worst matchups that you don't want to face as Syndra.
It's very easy to answer. Any other aggro deck basically.
Mm.
KO and Dio. But more KO specifically. Just because they have scalding,
Mm.
armor, and they have the only art of war in the game, which I really miss. Then again, it is what it is, and you just have to adjust. But yeah, their output is just very tall, and we don't have the blocking capability. And then for Dio,
Mm.
they can just end up sending max velocity with a boom grenade, and you're like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
my lead just dies. What am I gonna do?
14 life just evaporates there and then,
Yeah,
right?
literally 40, 25, and then down to 24 immediately. You just die.
So, let's go back to Syndra herself. So, what are the best and worst things that you hate about her as a hero and as a deck?
Okay. I'd like to compare it to Katsu
Mm.
because I like using Ninja Class. And what how Cinder shines is that her damage output is pretty streamlined and consistent.
Mm.
That's why I like playing her. Because even though I draw 4 cards, I'm like, okay, I think I can convert this, and hopefully my opponent gives me cards. And it feels so good to know that they will give me cards just
Mm.
because they want to prevent the mass trigger from happening. And yeah, like you jump hoops just to make it happen, and it's very satisfying. On the other side, the things I don't like about her is that she doesn't have armor like Zen,
Yeah.
which you can just shove and call it a day. But then no, you don't block. You have to pray that your opponent doesn't have the nuts or the disruption to kill your hand. And yeah, that's the worst part about it.
Can only have one spare point of armor to to
Yeah, literally just the
block their on
boots.
hits, right? Yeah, just the boots.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of all of Syndra's good and bad points, we're now gonna move on and check out your deck list that you used to win the event. So I am very excited for this part because I have a bunch of questions, especially for as a fellow Syndra main, especially when it comes to the changes that you've made to account for the Brand with Cinder Club ban. Yeah, let's start first with your main approach to adjusting the deck. So, how did you deal with the Brand with Cinder Club ban?
Okay. I got my deck inspo from actually Pudding's deck.
Mm.
So he had 3 brand red and 3 brand yellow. So that's 6.
Yep.
So that's like a huge chunk of that's 10% of your deck. So what I did was I found 3 Lava Vein Loyalty
Mm.
and 3 Tag the Target as a replacement for them. And then for Wrath, I replaced it with 1 E-Strike. We can go into that later, but
Yep.
basically when we lost Brand and Wrath, it felt like we couldn't get our daggers back just because we don't have enough draconics on board. And at the same time, those high rolly turns where you can just keep going and then just add wrath and just send a one card 9 just because you can give your dagger your boots another attack with dagger is like crazy. That's just gonna put you over the hill and maybe win the game and or even catch up if you were like in
Behind.
the back foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried finding the most suitable cards, and I'd like to give credit to everyone in Discord community, my teammates, and even the local community here in the Philippines to like get their opinion on what if I try this card, that card, including you, Miko. I asked you, what should I do, or what do you think of these specific
Oh
cards?
yeah, I remember our Facebook chat
And
about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it ended over here, and I liked how the deck flows, despite it having less, not substantially less draconics,
Mm.
but still less. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the equipment first. So
Mhm.
I see here like the complete suite of Cindra. Except for one thing. Most of the Pouncing Lynx is like cut off from the recent Syndra list. So in your case, why did you still have it in your deck? Why did you like retain it?
Specifically, the Lynx is just for Earth or for long or matchups that who want to block.
Mm.
So Verdance, Florian, well,
Mm.
he's gone, and maybe let's say like a Teklo, who's just gonna try and fatigue you, or maybe the upcoming Pleiades. Never know how that's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
But your plan into Earth, for example, is just to straight up try to kill your opponent. At the time, I had Tenacity in the deck so that they would just block, and hopefully they don't block the last card and give you Tenacity. But nowadays, it's not usually the case. So they don't really block now because
Mm.
they usually block two cards and send two so that they can decompose. So I think the value of Tenacity slightly lowered a bit. So I just another Lava Burst for 0 for 5 because that's usually how high Tenacity goes.
Mm.
And if they give up armor early, sure, cool. But nowadays they don't. It's always usually late game if they really need to, and especially since their chests need Earth in the grave. So yeah, Lynx is a pretty good card against those decks that really want to block since you won't get mom value anyway.
Oh, all right. Cool. So yeah, it looks like it still has a place for it. Just gonna ask, did you consider putting in flame scale furnace, or were you just satisfied already with not using it?
Based from what I saw, Flame Scale Furnace was for aggro matchups, so let's say KO, DO, maybe even Prism sometimes.
Mm.
But based from other people and personal test runs, it doesn't really change the matchup a bit. I mean, like
Mm.
a lot, only a bit. Really
Mm.
depends on the player, but generally you still end up unfavored, and your deck doesn't do its thing, which is to attack. So as well use those slots for other matchups that can actually help you. And yeah, they just feel like underwhelming cards in my opinion.
All right, cool. So let's move on to the main deck itself. And one of the things that I'm very curious whenever I see a Syndra list do very well is the type of finishers that they use for the deck. So from what I see here, you have uh Three Hunt the Hunter. I'm guessing that's for the to help with the fealty generation and draconic consistency.
Yep, pretty much it.
And then after that, you have two Art of the Dragonfire. So tell me more about why this is your choice of finisher that consumes a fealty as opposed to Art of Dragon Scale.
Uh, just because it gives you two extra value other than any other ender.
Hmm.
Scale, people will just block it, and that's it. They can't really
Okay.
do anything about. And then let's say breakpoint. Nowadays people just place a D react for Syndra and then block it, and then what? Breaking point is like what? So 1 for 5.
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh,
At least with Art of Dragon Fire, you get extra 2 damage, and with that 2 damage, you can actually kill a boy, either an ally or maybe Kasai's
Swords,
swordsman.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the cell sword. Yeah. That helps you with those matchups.
So what I see here, you also have 2 copies of Lava Burst instead of the usual 3. So why 2 copies?
Initially, I was at one. I had one
Oh
lava
wow.
burst
Okay.
and one salt the wound. Because yeah, that's from pudding says right.
Mm.
But since salt the wound doesn't is has become a mid card just because we don't have wrath, I just added it and made it into a lava burst. It's like a 0 for 5 iconic. Why not?
Mm.
And yeah, that's just pretty much how I ended up with 2 lava burst.
Did you really like it at 2 copies, or did you ever wish that you had a third copy?
I think I honestly like it being at one
Oh,
because
okay.
sometimes it just doesn't work out. Imagine having to draw a couple of enders in your hand.
Oh yeah.
So lava burst just becomes a pitch card or a 0 for 2. So it doesn't feel good. So I try to lessen it as much as possible and just be more consistent rather than have those. Because I think that's how Syndra pays off.
Right. Cool. Very interesting approach. Um. So does the same also apply to Snatch, where you wish it were like 1 copy, or did 2 copies work out really well for you?
Well, there are 3 things. It's a 2 block.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Draconic, and it doesn't have go again. So really, it's just a cherry on top. So what you can do is Art of the Dragonfire. If they
Mm.
respect it, you can give it go again with your boots and end with a snatch, and then your opponent be like, "Oh no, I have to give
Oh.
like my last card or my armor or whatsoever," so that the Syndra doesn't start with another 5 card hand, and that's pretty much the value of snatch. Or if you have to block the gravy and
Mm.
you kill an ally, at least you kill the ally, get the card back. That's like what 7 to 8 value, and it's not bad. You can take an off turn, let them set up, and still do your thing. Give you some time.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a really good argument for like putting Snatch in. What do you call this? Yeah. I just remember you talking about the breaking point earlier.
Yeah,
I That's also the reason why I removed mine, because it just feels so bad when you do breaking point and then it's just a D react in
yeah. It's
their
just the
arsenal.
reacting like
At
it's good
least
for aggro matchups though.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is. At least for Snatch, also, I guess it's a really nice ender, right? We do our usual massive momentum trigger attempt, and then the opponent thinks they're already in their clear because they like blocked all of it, and then we tack on a Snatch
Mm-hmm.
at the end, and then you see them
Yeah, and you're like,
panic for a
oh
bit.
no. You're like, "Ah, I got baited.
All right, so really cool choice of enders. Let's move on to the other parts of the deck. One of the interesting things I saw on your list is that you have a couple of one-offs. You talked about Enlightened Strike earlier, so okay, now is a great time to convince everyone to like pack in one Enlightened Strike.
So there are multiple ways of thinking what the Enlightened Strike can do for your deck. So one, it's obviously it could be a 7.
Mm.
So let's say you have 4 cards, Dagger, Draconic, they block it, click, and you end it with a 7. I don't think that your opponent is willing to block a 7 just to prevent that draw. So at least you get value of that. Then another play you can do with it is that if you make it Draconic at the end
Mm.
and you choose the draw card, if you like what you see, maybe if it's even a snatch what you draw, you give a go again and then you play a snatch and you end up drawing a card. So that's like what? 5, 4, and 3. So that's like 12 value, and which is way more than actually playing Wrath. So you net the card, you get a 5 card hand, and keep going.
Oh,
Imagine that.
okay. Yeah.
It's Wrath, but with multiple purposes.
Okay, so I have one question. If it's really so good, why just 1 copy?
Because as Syndra, you want to make sure that you can actually have a lot of cards in hand, and you just need to
Mm.
keep throwing it. But then if you lessen the number of cards that you throw, it
Mm.
feels suboptimal. So I kept it at 1, just because it feels like it's you just need one. You just need one. You're good to go. Yeah.
All right, cool. So The other one off that I saw in the deck is Throw Dagger. So other Cindra lists have 3. My list has 3 because I like it so much, but yours has 1. What's the reason behind that?
So the main reason why I don't like it, I only have one, is because I didn't want a third copy of Devotion Loyalty, the one for 4 creative fealty go again.
Okay.
That's the main reason. So I was like, out of all the cards that I can replace the third copy with, the best card that I can choose is Throw Dagger. I think,
Hmm.
well, it could be a hot take, but
Okay.
I think Throw Dagger is mid. Is very mid.
Oh.
Just because, like, think of it. It's already hard to get back your daggers,
Hmm.
and you try to flick one, and then now you're gonna throw dagger your other one. So imagine not being able to get your cards back, your daggers back.
Hmm.
Feel bad, and what against Kasai or against Verdansk, you're just gonna prevent that one, and what your throw dagger becomes. You just threw a card, zero value. At worst, it's just a blue block 3, but
Hmm.
at best, it helps you net an extra card, extend mom. But other than that, pretty much the role of throw dagger. I think a one off is just good.
Okay, yeah, those are really good arguments for it, especially with the brand ban, right? You can't guarantee that you can
Hmm.
get both of your daggers back. And that's
Yeah.
probably the reason why people run 3 during that time, because it's just so easy to like get them back.
Oh wait. Oddly enough, even though if it's one,
Hmm.
it showed up in most of my matches in Kachi. I was like, I guess it's just a sign.
Yeah,
Add more,
1
but
is the
nah,
right
I'm gonna stick
number.
to one. Yeah,
Also,
imagine throwing into 2. Yeah.
also I'm guessing that just having that one copy show up and then you being able to use it properly would make the opponent paranoid that okay, maybe he has more, and then they have to block
Yeah,
more
they're like, oh
carefully.
no. So you really have to think, does he really have one? Or does he have more?
But yeah, now that you've revealed the list, I guess people will now take
You know,
note.
Miko, let me know. Let me know the sauce if you try it out.
So let's see. We've covered your one ups. We've covered. Let's move on to the 3 ups that you've put in the deck in place of Brandon Cinderclaw. Starting with tag the target. So
So
how did it
tag the
work?
target.
Yeah, how did this work out for you?
It's basically a 0 for 4.
Okay.
Or a cheapskate version of brand.
Okay.
So you're with this card, you end up making your opponent think whether or not he or she needs to respect it.
Hmm.
It's like similar to the role of pain in the backside. If you start with either or both of them in the first chain link, they're like,
Okay.
oh, do I need to block this? Or if I don't, I'll get marked, and that's like 4 points for my opponent. So it really makes them think. But in my opinion,
Hmm.
I had no other choice but to add this because I don't like any other cards there. And yeah, it's a 0 for 4, blocks for 2. It's my flexible card if
Hmm.
I need to bring in stuff for the sideboard. So yeah, that's just for the role of tag the target.
All right. Were you ever tempted to main deck Hunt to the Ends of Wraith?
On to the Ends of Wraith.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, if you see in my list
Hmm.
that Oath of Loyalty, I'll explain why I put it there.
Hmm.
But with my recent change, I'm actually replacing Haunted Ends of Wraith with Oath of Loyalty
Hmm.
because I believe that Mario will increase in number. So I think it would be a good addition to the sideboard. But no, I wouldn't main deck that card. I think it's bad. Not
Uh,
unless you're
yeah.
0 for 2 red, and then it only gets a benefit if you're marked. Doesn't normally happen.
It's a quote unquote starter, so
Nah,
desperate.
dude. Nah, if you're desperate, just might as well just go tag the target. At least it's a for sure 4.
Okay. So let's move on to another more, I guess you can call this a more reliable card because it's just so mid that it's like the framework of the other 2 cards similar to it. How did
Yeah, yeah.
Lava Vein Loyalty work out for you?
At first, I didn't see the value of Lava Vein Loyalty because it's just a 0 for 3, go again.
Yeah.
But in the hindsight, it's basically because it's draconic
Hmm.
and it lets your deck flow enough to the point that you have better chances of getting your daggers back.
Okay.
That's basically the role, and that's how I feel when I use it. So I think it was a good addition, and it's a block 3. It's not overpowered, not underpowered. It's just right,
It's like a solid role
and I think it's not
player, I
bad.
guess, right? Yeah.
It's a role player. It's a good role player, and I'm fine with bringing in 3. It's not hard to cast, unlike other draconics. Now you have to pay 1. Nah, I just go for a 0 for 3 call it a day. I'm gonna pay 1 for my dagger. They're my real starter.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we've covered your 3 offs, let's go on to some of the cards that are typically seen in the Cindra deck, but their number can vary from one Cindra deck to another. And I guess a great place to start would be Oath of Loyalty, wherein various Cindra decks put anywhere from 0 to 3 copies of this. So your list has 2. How did that work out for you?
So there was a time where I ran 3 based
Mhm.
on Peter, but then 6 list when I played last year in Kaikan's PQ.
Okay.
So I can clearly remember how this happened. So I was already at the top 4 against my own teammate Onyel.
Okay.
I had the chance to draw mom and get tempo
Okay.
because like it was a really close game. But I drew into the 3rd
Oh
and I
no.
couldn't do anything with it. It could have been like a 0 for 3. It could have been any other card but that. But no, it had to be that card. So that's the reason why I run 2 so that
Mm.
I don't always want to see it. But
Mm.
then I'll be glad to see it as a starter since it's draconic. We need it for a dagger since it's 0 for 4. And they're probably not gonna block it, or at least give us 3 block.
So the other thing that varies in number, but I guess to a lesser extent, there's like it kind of stabilized at 2 copies for most lists is Demonstrate Devotion. So do you think the 2 copies is like the ideal number for this card?
At first I was at 3,
Mm.
and then I hate drawing into 2, so I kept it at 2 so that I don't always see it. Because like imagine having to draw 2 1-cost cards, an
Yeah.
ender and that. So it doesn't feel very optimal to always like pitch and then get your resource from your vest,
Mm.
or not. Well, I mean, you can be high rolly and be lucky if you had Art of the Dragon, the one that gives a discount.
The
Blood,
blood, yeah, yeah,
Art of
blood.
the Dragon blood. If you have that, then you're good. But then that isn't always the case.
Uh,
That's true.
yeah. Sometimes it's really hard to just get 2 resources from the vest, right? Because you kind of have to
Yeah,
risk that you will poke them with a dagger and then pray that the opponent doesn't block them with anything or senses that you
exactly.
want a
So
resource. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Plus, it's also a 2 block, right? You don't want to see one of these when you're like on.
Yeah, on the defensive end, no. You're like 1 cost for like it's 2 block. So yeah, you're forced to play it.
So we've covered most of your deck list, especially the Syndra cards. Let's talk about your inventory or your attack cards for the different matchups. One of the things that struck me here is your use of Loyalty Beyond the Grave, as opposed to, let's say, Sink Below, just to complement Shelter from the Storm as another 4 defense reaction. So why Loyalty Beyond the Grave over Sink Below?
The only reason why I brought Oath was for Kasai.
Mm.
Me and Onyel were talking in Kaikan, thinking that he had a good theory that he believed in, that uh Oath would
Mm.
be good into Kasai just because the matchup can go long. You can block it to prevent, let's say, the Kasai from getting ally. But in my head, my plan was, I think I just really need to go aggro and outrace the Kasai because they're usually at draw side.
Okay.
And if they wanna prevent mask, they usually can't do what they want to do. They can't do the draw sword, the free swing,
Mm.
and the rest is history. So I think the aggro matchup was there. And yeah, I was lucky enough to just face 1 Kasai, and I decided to stick to my original plan and not play Oath attack, and got me the win.
Okay. Next is let's talk about your choice of popper. I'm guessing you put 3 Battlefield Bastions not for the mirror match, right? But rather for Prism.
Yes,
Okay.
those are just specifically for Prism.
Or just specifically for Prism. Okay. So why among all of the choice for poppers, you put you choose this one over, let's say, Rally the Coast Guard or Vandal's Fighting Spirit or some other else?
Other than it's a popper, I think when Prism that summons the Figment of Triumph, the
Hmm.
one that gives -1 attack,
Okay.
and then he's attacking with the Herald that gives it -1 as well. So
Okay.
it's down to 5, so it's not a popper anymore. They're gonna do a lot and on their end, and I think I it's fine that they hit because at least you don't have to think about the mask, their mask all the time.
Hmm.
But then it can be like a 6-7 kind of thing, like you're not really sure. But I like that I'm able to have one floating prevention on the next card, so that in that case I'll just block it so that he doesn't get another angel whatsoever. So yeah, that's just pretty much why I chose Battlefront Bastion over Looked Off and other poppers.
Oh, okay. Very interesting approach to it. So you're more worried. So it's more like a fail safe in case that they do something about it. At
Yeah, it's
least.
it's just pretty much a failsafe.
Okay. Next is we're almost done with your deck list. So now,
Yeah.
now I ask what every person looking at your deck list probably is thinking right now. So after your experience with the RTN, are there any changes to your list moving forward?
I'm just gonna change the oath of
Hmm.
loyalty to hunt the ends of wraith. That's just it. And then I think the deck is still pretty good. Still smooth.
So just really minor changes. You're
Yeah,
very
very
happy
minor.
with your list.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the tournament itself. Your 9-0 RTN win. Um,
Okay.
so for the first 6 rounds of Swiss, were there any like matchups that really stood out for you and gave you a really hard time?
I'd probably say it would be the Dio
Hmm.
and Kasai. Yeah. So for the Dio, I was lucky that I was able to get, what do you call that? I was able to go first.
Okay.
So I was able to get the advantage and draw into Warmongers and played it so that on their turn, they'll just call peace.
Okay.
So tempo is still on my end, but at some point, it's he's still caught up. Like it's Dio.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that all of a sudden they just boom grenade you. Because okay, you can probably stop the first,
Hmm.
but then he's still gonna hit you regardless with that boom grenade. Because my game plan into Dio is just race. I don't bring D reacts whatsoever.
Hmm.
Because if you give them enough space, I feel like that's when you start to lose. So you just keep attacking. Hopefully they give armor early,
Yeah.
and at some point they won't be able to block just because they drew into like a 2-3 card item hand, and that usually wins you the game.
Okay. Yeah.
And then for the Kasai,
Hmm.
it's Kasai. I feel like we're unfavored to that matchup. But yeah, my game plan there as well is just to attack, and hopefully they don't they make either mistaken blocking, they don't use equipment correctly, or they just have bad hands, because sometimes that can happen. And it came to a point where I was down to 1 life, but since it was too late already, that I just give mask and send my 3 to 4 card hand, and that won me the game. That's usually how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that we have the same approach to like handling those bad matchups. Me too. I'd rather just race and try to trip them over with warmongers and punch
Yeah,
them
yeah,
for
that's
like
really warmongers.
yeah. It's warmongers, man. Even against
Good card.
really good card. Although I guess for Kasai and Dio, I do put Break Over the Coals for mine. Have you considered also putting it, or did you cut it off from your list?
Last year I had it,
Hmm.
but since I realized that it's a non-block, and sometimes you can't always get the maximum value, which is 4,
Hmm.
I cut it off the list completely.
I mean, from both of our experiences, it's Warmongers that's more of the backbreaker for those bad matchups, right?
Oh yeah, they're usually the card that helps us jump over the unfavoredness.
So after your 6-0 run, you finally made it to top 8. And then how did you feel knowing that if things line up, and they did in your favor, you'll be facing against three gravies. How did you feel when you realized that?
I mean, yes, it's good that you're favoring the gravy matchup, but then it's still no easy task
Mm.
to fight them. Just because there are other things you have to worry about, like conk, and depending on the player, those players were not. They are known to be like top players here in the locally in the Philippines, and
Mm.
I had to put my A game and just try to get over the mountain and get the W.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch those matches, but were all of those matches close, or were there some blowouts and during your run?
So in round one of top eight, I was against Andre.
Mm.
I was going first, and luckily he had to give his flexors just because I think he had a ally hand,
Oh, okay.
and yeah, so that usually is a good sign on my end, so that I know that okay, maybe I can leak enough damage so that I can gain enough advantage
Mm.
to have a good distance of health. So I don't need to block. I just need to keep. And if he's trying to keep a hand, maybe he's trying to attack with Kong. So I won't try to arsenal and just keep going for gas. And then in the second game, that I was actually down to one. I
Oh,
think Nath, who was my second opponent, either made the wrong play about playing his chest to get an extra resource because I feel like that would have been the game changer. And yeah, so luckily I was able to keep a card, just play that card, he blocks it, and I flick, and he couldn't prevent it. So that got me the win, and I was just lucky.
that was a close one. So how about the
Yeah, that
finals?
was a close match. In the finals, yeah, I think my turn zero hand was pretty bad,
Mm.
but eventually, Carlo was not able to draw good hands. He
Okay.
couldn't find an ally in like the first few turns, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And at the same time, I had disruption. I could play warmongers in like the first few turns, so he kept going for peace, and I just kept attacking, kill the ally, get the value, and keep going. And I think playing those two warmongers got me the game. He couldn't do anything after that.
Wow. And then after that, you got crowned as Kachi's Road to
Yeah,
Nationals
yeah,
champion. You got your gold foil, and you got your first major win, if I remember correctly. Yeah, right?
yeah.
First
That's
major local
my
win.
first major local win. Yes, after playing FaB for like 2 3 years.
Mm.
Yeah,
So how did that win
it
make
felt
you
good.
feel?
It was satisfying. Like not everyone gets the chance to win,
Mm.
but I'm grateful enough that I got it and that the community was celebrating and that everyone helped me through the journey. My team, my girlfriend, my family, like they encourage me to just keep trying and trying. Eventually, you'll get there. Yeah.
It's very nice that you have like behind the scenes you have a support system backing you up, even in your
hmm
hobbies.
Even though just a hobby, it's something you like doing, and hopefully the people important to you support you.
That's very cool. Okay, so you have any? I guess now that you're qualified and you won, the pressure for qualifying the nationals is already off your
Yeah.
shoulders. So, any remaining plans for the RTN season?
So as of now, I'm just gonna use the time to spend it with my girlfriend and my family, just because I always ask like, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't go today because I really wanna play this specific location and try to qualify for the nationals this year."
Mm.
And yeah, I'm finally out. I can rest and take the time to spend time with family and friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's very nice of you to like in a way pay them back for the support that they gave you. So when you were
Mhm.
trying hard, they were supporting you, and now that you've accomplished your goal, now it's your time to make time for them. That's really sweet.
Yeah. You got to stick to your values. At the end of the day,
Mhm.
there's still your priority. FaB is just some hobby that you love, but then again, FaB is still important at the same time.
That's true. So it's just finding the right.
Perfect. The balance. You can't forget every. You can't just go FaB all the way.
So Cindra gave you the win, but at heart you're a ninja player. I just gotta
Mhm.
ask you, like, what do you think about the other ninjas right now?
So there's Katsu, Fai.
And
Ira.
Ira, yeah.
In my opinion, why play FaB when you have Cindra? Katsu
Mm-hmm.
and Ira just die to Earth. It feels so bad and I just get fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just run out of gas and still die since you're not as consistent compared to Syndra. But hopefully in the upcoming set at Pen, in a week or 2 weeks, they'll get like major support and they'll become playable heroes. But with Florian graduating, I think the window slightly opened.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think they're still in a not so good position right now of the meta. So waiting for that Katsu God card, bring Bonds of Ancestry back, bring him home to the Mystic Lands.
So that sort of covers everything that we've well about your tournament run at Kachi.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll just spend the rest of the time doing a little bit of fun stuff. So do you know that thought process game called Fuck Mary Kill?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am familiar with the game.
Okay. So we're just gonna do a few sets of it. I'm gonna give you 3 cards, and then you're gonna tell me which one is your fuck, marry, and kill.
Okay.
No justification required, no judgment. But up to you if you want to
Okay,
be
okay, okay.
defensive about it. Okay.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Okay. So our first 3 cards are uh Zen, Cindra, and Katsu.
Oh god. I think I'll marry Katsu because he was my day one. Really can't do anything about that.
Hmm.
I'll I'll F Zen just because he has Cosmic Awakening for 20 and those tigers go rawr, you know?
Okay.
And I'll kill Syndra just because, you're just Syndra. You can't really do like those major big turns. But
What
she was still a good deck.
what a plot twist though. After she won the whole thing, you kill her off.
No, I gotta stay loyal to my OGs. They were the reason why I'm here today, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Sticking to the values. I respect that.
Sticking to the values. Yes, yes.
Um. Okay.
Okay.
So first card is Ancestral Harmony. Second card is
Yeah.
Ancestral Empowerment. And
Uh,
then yeah, let's go with Cosmic Awakening.
okay. Okay, I have to give props to empowerment. I think that would be my Mary,
Hmm.
just because it works in Katsu
Hmm.
and it's a good Cinder card. It's satisfying that your opponent has to block,
Hmm.
but you're like, oh, joke's on you, mic drop. I have the +1. But it's sad that if they have the Z-React, but if they don't, it'd be like, oh, game
Yeah.
time, baby.
The big blowout.
And then, yeah. And then I'd have to F Cosmic Awakening because kaboosh, three chi power, power of the mind, the traverse. And then what was the last card? What was the last card?
Ancestral Harmony.
Yeah, F kill harmony. Imagine playing it
Yes.
and getting some other random card like Warmongers. What are you doing? You're not supposed to get me that card.
Now that I think about it, there never really was a deck that has the right numbers to support Ancestral Harmony. There's always like this inherent risk
Yeah,
where you flip when you flip it. Even against the
it's
best decks that use it like Zen, right?
it can still miss.
So that's like the high roll. But well, you
When
know.
it hits,
Yeah.
oh,
So last set of cards we have Harmonized Kodachi, Tiger Taming Karaka rather, and
Kakara.
Kakura, and Kunai
Yeah.
of Retribution.
Oh, that's easy. Marry Kodachi,
Wow.
F Kakara, and kill the kunai. Just because Kodachi is such an iconic weapon. It's
Mhm.
very satisfying to just like you're in the Kodachi lock. Like they have to give one card for each weapon swing. So it's Jover. And then the Kakara, it's Miss Zen. Maybe he'll come back in some different form with like
Yeah.
hair or slightly younger but not the young one. You never know. You never know. He's still finding his path to chiness.
He's
And
been on a
yeah,
journey, and you know what journey
yeah,
does to
he's still
people,
on the
right?
journey. Yep. He was too overpowered. He had to be bald, but now he's like just the right amount of power. he has hair. And then kill kunai
Okay.
just because it has to break when you throw it. Like,
Yeah,
I have to get you back.
that's like our main complaint with it, right? Why does it have to break?
It's made out of steel, and when you hit someone, it shouldn't break. It should just, at least get damage, but you should still be able to use it again, right?
Well, I guess one theory is that Cindra throws it so hard it breaks compared to
Yeah,
for the other
maybe
ninjas.
it's too strong, like
Yeah,
like Gambit.
it explodes when they hit. Okay, yeah, that's all for our Fuck Mary Kill segment. Thank you for being very game about it. So yeah,
Of course.
yeah, that's the end of the interview. Do you have any shout outs for the people out there?
Okay, I'd like to shout out first my girlfriend, Akisha. She was very encouraging and very helpful when it comes to like giving me hope that I'll be able to do it. She's the reason
Mm-hmm.
why I kept going and why I was eager enough to try and get that W. It may not be the GCF, but just to get to qualify. But I'm grateful that it came to that point. I went, got that cherry on top. And of course, my family.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they allowed me to play. They like, fine, go ahead. We'll support you. Do your best. And of course, to Value Town, because without them, I wouldn't be able to get the right cards or, uh, you know, get experience in specific matches that I have easy access to. Because Talishar sometimes it's just hard to play,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you have bad internet. Sometimes the signal is just not good all the time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's my mini circle.
All right, cool. So if people need to reach out to you to ask questions, do you have any socials where they can reach out?
Uh, I have a Discord. It's Dash Drew. If you wanna dash, lower caps Drew and dash. If you
Mm.
find me there, then maybe you can chat if you have any questions. I'm usually active there and the Ninja Discords
Oh,
or
okay.
uh,
Cool.
in Twitter
Mm.
or now they call X. ANDRW underscore yap. Yeah. I'm not as active there
Mm.
compared to Discord, but yeah, you can reach me out there as well.
So best place is we look for you in
Discord.
the Discord channel for the ninjas and
Yeah.
the FaB Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Andrew, congratulations again for your big win on Syndra. A perfect run. So that's a very big achievement. Congratulations again.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
thank you for being here today.
I'm very grateful to go here. It's my first time to get interviewed, so living at the moment and hope to win more.
All right, that's it. Thank you guys for staying with us and watching the interview. Good luck in your games. Bye bye.
Let's go.